The countdown begins, guys. We are gonna get this bike done for Shovelfest. Hell or high water, sleepless nights, whatever it takes, we are going to get it done. Dear God, please let it be smooth sailing from here on out on this bike, and let us be ready for Shovelfest. We are going to do whatever it takes to get this bike on the road for Shovelfest. Whoever needed a front brake, right? Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. We are nearing the end of the Shovelhead project. Oh my gosh, it is getting so close, but it still seems yet so far away. And we're working on the rear brake. We've got the wiring all done, and it's pretty much just brake lines and oil lines coming up now. So I spent a long time yesterday online trying to find the brake lines that we needed. They were like, it's gonna be here in a week, and definitely that was not gonna work. So I called up my handy dandy local parts dealer, Conquer Motorcycles, and they have all of the parts that we need, thank God, because otherwise this Shovelhead would be staying in the shop for Shovelfest, and we don't want that. The goal is to get this Shovelhead off the bench by Shovelfest and to bring both Shovelheads to Shovelfest and have my bike and my dad's bike entered in a few categories and hopefully win something. We're getting to those days where parts runs are basically every day because it's just coming down to that time. It's crunch time, guys, so let's just go. That I broke it. Like the whole entire foot is purple. Well, half my foot is anyway. And I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to ride my bike or not. But my biggest concern was actually just being able to fit my foot in a boot, which it fits in my lace-up boot all right now that the swelling's kind of gone down. But I totally forgot that I have to shift with that foot also, and that my shifter is kind of like, well, it's kind of hard to shift, and it's not like cushioned with rubber or anything like that, so yeah, that kind of hurts. But it's alright, I've not ridden in like a week because, well, I mean, maybe not a week, maybe like 5 days or something like that. Because, yeah, I've had my bike up on a lift for a couple days and then I hurt my foot, so that's how it goes. And they put all this black tar stuff all over the road up here, and this stuff is really sketchy in a corner, especially on a hot day. I just don't know why they gotta do that, you know? Like they went like tar happy up here, man. There's so much of it. Yeah, shifting actually kind of hurts, but we're in it now, guys. Just gotta try to not have to shift too much, hopefully. Get inside there. It's freaking hot out here, guys. Sweating. Oh, you know, parts still, yeah, I know. I was like, what am I doing with this freaking foot too? Yeah, I know, I'm not gonna be riding anymore.
That's a 32. Here's your 45, that's your straight.
Okay, thanks. Yep. See ya. Hopefully this stuff will work for what I'm hoping it will work for.
Really, your bike?
My dad and I.
That thing is awesome. Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right up here on the other side.
Okay.
See ya.
See ya. Everybody's out there looking at my bike, and I don't want to stand in the sun and talk about my bike. So I'm gonna wait in the air conditioning until they've all had their fill. And then I'll go back out there and try to kickstart my bike in the sun with black pants on. Oh, they're gonna be out there forever now. There's a whole group of them talking about it. I don't feel like having a crowd for my kickstart. Sorry guys. Oh my gosh, my seat's gonna be burning hot by the time I go get on my bike. Anyways, here's an old cop bike, 45. And then this thing, which I wish were mine, because I would strip it right now. There's some crazy bike going on back here. Still out there looking. I guess that's the price you pay for riding a bike that people like. Souped up road ride. That crazy thing. Hopefully these guys aren't looking at my bike for too much longer because I want to get home and get to work. Gargoyles. They got gargoyles everywhere here. Are they gone? No, they're still out there. I like socks. I like cool, cheeky socks. They definitely have some unique looking bikes in here. Okay, they came back inside and I'm leaving. I really don't mean to be rude or anything like that, but it's just too hot out here. Just stand here and talk about my bike forever and then have to kickstart it in the sun with a crowd. But I will kickstart for you guys. That was like too easy. Okay, now let's go. So only one of the two fittings that I got is going to work, which means the hunt continues. So hopefully I can find what I need in town here, because if not, then, well, things just are not going to be going as planned. It's just so frustrating that finding parts for these bikes is such a headache, like all the time. Even if you have a good parts hookup, it's like still a pain in the butt. Like, I wish someone would open a shop that just had every single part you would ever need for your shovel head all the time in stock. I guess not enough shovel heads on the road. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna go check out a couple places and return the one fitting that I got that won't work, and yeah, we'll see what happens. I kind of hate to say it a little bit, but driving around in my air-conditioned truck with my iced coffee is definitely a lot more comfortable than riding around on my shovel head in traffic in 42 or whatever it is, hot out weather. I don't think it's quite 42 yet, but remind you of anything? Okay, this is a Timmy's iced coffee, by the way. They are pretty good and not as bougie as Starbucks, and definitely needed because I'm not drinking hot tea on a hot day. I don't think you guys have Lordco in the States. I'm gonna go on Lordco and see what they got for brake line fittings. Success! Oh my goodness, the last place you go is always the first place you should have gone. It was not cheap, but it's going to work, and there's a spare, so in case we need another one, then I've got two. So that calls for a celebration donut. If you guys are Canadian and you like Tim Hortons, they got the Dutchie. I used to hate this donut as a kid because it had raisins in it, but I actually love it now because I'm an old lady or something. I definitely don't need donuts, but hey man, who does? Time to go home. Yes, and get this brake line on. Oh my gosh, I think I have the fittings that are gonna make this as easy as it should have been from the start. Well, I'm back in my garage, and after some cutting and grinding and bending and fitting and hammering and crying, we finally got the brake line on, and oh my gosh, what a fiasco just for one simple brake line. My goodness, guys, it is just insanity. I don't even know how I'm still sane. I don't even know if I am, but I probably shouldn't be after this motorcycle project because it has just been one thing after the other, but we are getting closer to the end. Still shocks me that things that should be so simple can be so difficult. And yeah, it all just is because we just didn't have the proper brake line. So we had to just do a whole bunch of different things to make the brake line that we could get fit, and it fits now. And I spent like an entire day, it felt like, looking for the parts that were at the local auto parts store all along. That's what I get for only relying on motorcycle stores and websites for parts that are like pretty universal. So I've learned my lesson, and I will check the auto parts store next time sooner. But the rear brake line is on, and that is a huge relief. So anyway, I'll quickly show you guys just what we had to do to get the brake line on. So it might just look like a simple brake line setup, but we actually, well, we had to get a new one of these, which thank goodness Conquer had them in stock. And we had to get a new one of these too. And then we had the proper fitting that we needed to fit it onto that. And then this brake line, luckily Conquer had them in stock also. The fittings though, these fittings here, they didn't have. They did not have a fitting that would thread into that block and adapt to the line. So that's what I spent forever trying to figure out, and then ended up finding at the auto parts store. And then the brake line all the way up here, and the brake, our caliper, as you guys know, these calipers don't normally go on a tube swing arm, so it doesn't actually have a mount for it. So the banana caliper mounts on the axle, as you all know, but then you'll have a brake stop, and this would just mount a lot differently. It would be further back, but we wanted to put it a little bit further forward. This is our brake stop here that we made, and to fit the brake line, because our caliper was so much further forward and we couldn't clear the shock with the brake line the way that it was, and we didn't have a 45, we couldn't get a 45 to make that fit properly. We ended up having to just shorten this here just to make this distance here a little bit wider, and now we clear the shock nicely. Well, we will once everything's tied down. That's not actually touching the shock right now, but we got the rear brake on, so thank goodness for that. And front brake will probably be, well, the last thing we do, because oil lines, and well, we got a little list here. We're getting down, guys, to the brass tacks and to the list. So brakes, battery wires, oil lines, manifold, carb. I'm gonna have to rebuild another carburetor for this. So anyway, as you guys can see, my garage is a complete disaster from panic fitting parts and just trying to hurry up and get stuff done. So it is pretty late. Well, it's not super late. It's like 9 o'clock. I'm gonna clean up my garage, and then I'm gonna go upstairs and edit this video. And I'm gonna enjoy my peach beer while I do it all. I'm not too sure what I think about this one yet, but I normally don't mind a peach beer. So cheers, guys. I hope you all liked this video, and like always, guys, if you like what you see, or if you just like me, or even if you don't like me but you like my bikes, then like, comment, subscribe, do all those things you guys do. And like always, my lovely YouTube people, I'll catch you all on the flip side. Peace. And don't forget about Shovel Fest, guys. It's in a week's time, July 27th, 2024. I hope you guys will be there. And if you're not there this year, you better be here next year, because you got plenty of notice, guys. Get those shovel heads on the road. If I can do it, you can do it. Let's do this. Okay, bye. Back in the garage, and after, well, I'm back in my garage again, where I belong, apparently. Well, I'm back in my garage again, and after, well, I'm back in my garage, and it's too hot for GoPros to operate. And my air conditioner doesn't even feel like it's working, guys. And my shirt's probably making that all, oh yeah, I'm not even using the mic. What am I thinking about? We should be good to go. But that's why I don't know why I'm still not even insane yet. Obviously, I don't even know how to put that in a sentence without sounding insane. And Tiny's tired after a long day of part hunting too, aren't you, Tiny? Tiny put a lot of effort into finding those parts today, didn't you, Tiny? You didn't even get any treats, did you, Tiny? Say bye, Tiny. Say bye. Give him a kiss.